YouTube, it's your boy Estefanos back with a new video. Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. And man, I feel like this video should have came sooner, but we're here now anyway, so here we go. So basically, I've been thinking. We all love, I think almost every person on the planet loves Spider-Man, right? I mean, at least a lot of you. And basically, almost every Spider-Man movie, trilogy, franchise, whatever, seems to start off strong, but whenever they get towards like the end or like the third movie, it always seems that the third movie always gets the cutter's torch. Like why? And so, in today's video, I'll be diving down why I believe that it's practically inevitable that every Spider-Man trilogy gets, well, except Spider-Man, except MCU Spider-Man. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the only trilogy to have been, okay, not perfectly solid, since not everyone loves Far From Home and Far From Home. So, but No Way Home was amazing, dude. And everyone was talking about it. Everyone's still talking to it, even almost 5 years later. So, 5 years, 4 years later. And basically, I'm going to start off at the beginning. So, we start off with the Sam Raimi trilogy, right? Spider-Man 1 is just simply iconic, like it, without a doubt. You don't even need anyone's opinion. You need to see it to believe it. So basically, the first Spider-Man movie has the most iconic villain, Green Goblin, and the story itself is just like I'm usually a big fan of origin stories, but with the next couple Spider-Man movies, they do an interesting way to keep changing Spider-Man's different origin, giving Spider-Man the same origin but with different slight interpretations, you know. And then that was a hit, and it set up a lot of stuff. And then we get Spider-Man 2, which is by far one of the most iconic Spider-Man movies of all time. And well, although not everyone seems to think that everyone seems to love, and I mean, hey, there's the train fight scene, there's the Aunt May's speech, Doc Ock redeeming himself, sacrifice, R.I.P. Also, R.I.P. to his wife Rosie, and what? And also Harry and MJ both find out Peter's Spider-Man. But okay, MJ was pretty, in my opinion, in this trilogy, I agree, is always the damsel in distress. The first movie made sense. Second one was Third one is okay, you're doing too much. But basically, and then Harry still blames Peter for killing his dad. And like this keep in mind though, Harry's dad has always favored Peter mostly, even in the comics. And so I get why Harry is angry at Peter, because he feels like Peter is trying to outshine him, and so it makes sense, and I feel bad for him. But then we get the Spider-Man 3, the movie, and my God, I mean, I see what they're trying to do, but it's like they try making Sandman the real killer of Uncle Ben. They had Harry with amnesia. What else? Oh yeah, also the Venom storyline, which, God, that's a lot to put in a movie. But if you ask me, if they had taken out Venom, and I think everyone agrees with me, if they had taken out Venom and saved him for Spider-Man 4, or they would have been alright. But of course, Raimi didn't want to have Venom, but he was against because of Sony. And so after Spider-Man 3 did not the best, he was going to make Spider-Man 4, but decided to leave it. So they made The Amazing Spider-Man, who was actually going to be in the MCU. But unfortunately, he only got 2 movies, and the third movie was canceled because Andrew Garfield called in sick and somehow got fired, which somehow to me makes zero sense. Like, what? How is me calling in sick costing me losing my job. That's just crazy. So even though I'm practically dragging myself out of bed, I should come to work. And they say they put safety before anything. And I'll admit, in my opinion, I would say I like the Amazing Spider-Man 1. It's not perfect, but it's cool. The web slinging, the lizard, the backstory was different, but the execution was. Lizard deserved a bit more edge. He was a great antagonist, but he deserved more, in my opinion. And but Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield's relationship, it's just simply, now this is how you do a couple. And even into the second one, even though that movie broke me, dude. That movie actually, I was like, ain't no way she actually dies. I was like, ain't no way this is happening. Ain't no way. But then it actually happened. I would have thought they were saving this or foreshadowing this in like a previous next movie. I guess I was wrong. I will say though, that movie had the most best visuals for a CGI, and like Electro, even though he wasn't like the best villain, I felt bad for him in a way. And then Harry, I didn't really give a damn about. Like you were gonna die either way, bro. Like in my opinion, and if you ask me though, at least enjoy. Why I still like you need Spider-Man's blood when you don't know if you would die from. You feel me? So he's mad at that. I get why it still makes no sense to me. But basically, Harry becomes Green Goblin because Spider-Man won't give his blood, so he wants vengeance, I guess. So he teams with Electro, and in the end, he ends up killing Gwen. And then, yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, the Rhino, mechanical Rhino, which we only see in the beginning of the movie, but he comes back in the end. Yeah. But one thing I will say I like about this movie is the kid the kid Spider-Man stands up to the bullies. Now that is Spider-Man. Being a friendly neighborhood hero. That's what I love about. I think one of the main things everyone loves about about TASM 2. And then finally, we get to MCU Spider-Man. And it's kind of hard to like rank his character because he often has so many crossovers in the Avengers. But since Spider-Man Homecoming takes place after Civil War, it's kind of hard, and we kind of learn a bit of his backstory. And honestly, I like that he has a new mentor, and it's Tony at first, and though Tony treats him like a kid it makes sense, he is a kid. But I see why he's trying to become more, you know. So I would say No Way Home is a decent movie. But then we get to Far From Home, which takes place after Endgame, where Tony Stark died. And so everyone's like wondering who's going to be the next Iron Man. And so basically he's Tony Stark Jr., which honestly I don't like. Well, I don't know. I didn't really like it that much. When I first saw Far From Home, I wasn't a big fan of this Peter. I mean, when I was younger, sorry, I'm getting mixed up. This Peter, I would say, was my favorite, and I was relating to him a lot because of what he went through. Not because I've lost, but the pressure, you know. And then Mysterio was an amazing villain, in my opinion. He was a great villain. But him being a Stark employee, come on. You could have said he was like a rival. He could have been like, you could have done more. But that ending though is insane, and it perfectly set up No Way Home. And let me get into No Way Home. This is the best Spider-Man movie in the trilogy, and by far, the amount of death Peter goes through. This is basically the live action Into the Spider-Verse, and you could tell they've taken so much inspiration from Into the Spider-Verse because they were the first ones to do this. And although I feel like Into the Spider-Verse and also Across the Spider-Verse do better, No Way Home was decent at doing it, trying their best. And I love how Toby and Andrew's Peter give Tom's Peter, the with great power comes great responsibility lesson. Like, Aunt May gave him the speech, but they also helped him. And personally, a lot of people hate Peter for trying to help the villains, but isn't that what Spider-Man does? In my personal opinion, that's the most Spider-Man thing to do. To help anyone, even the villains. But then Green Goblin kills Aunt May and then stabs Toby. Honestly, this dude was more of a menace than he was in Spider-Man 1. At least he didn't actually kill anybody. He killed the directors, but he didn't. But that was basically it. But yo, this man was a menace. And then the ending where they had to cast the spell. Oh my god. I would say No Way Home was probably the most popular Spider-Man movie. But in my personal opinion, it doesn't top the Spider-Verse movies. They have the most unique take on Spider-Man, and the way they do it is amazing. I've glazed into and across the Spider-Verse so much, and I'll continue to do that. But basically, as we all know, Into the Spider-Verse won an Oscar. Across the Spider-Verse lost to The Boy in the Heron. And now when you think about it, it makes sense. But Across the Spider-Verse didn't win a Kids' Choice Award, so that helps. But by far, both these movies' messages about becoming your own person work so well. And especially Across the Spider-Verse, which made you rethink about everything that you learned in the first movie, dude. Like, this nigga Miguel blames Peter for creating the spot, the death of his Peter Parker, which wasn't even his fault, in my opinion. I mean, it makes sense, but it wasn't his fault. I'm busy. Yes. But now we're waiting on Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is taking forever. And it's, it's frustrating. Why is it always the third movie? I get it, they want to go without a bang, but come on. You can still do it in a tasteful way. And somehow the Spider-Verse movies know how to do it. How to use so many antagonists, but also not do too much with them, you know? I mean, the main antagonists of Into the Spider-Verse were pretty much Kingpin, Olivia Octavius, and then the Prowler. And then the main protagonists were basically Miles, Peter B. Parker, Gwen, Stacy, Penny Parker, Spider-Ham, and Spider-Man Noir. And that was a lot, and also the Sinister Six, but you know what I mean. And then Across the Spider-Verse, we have the Spot, Miguel, and the Spider Society. And Miles and Gwen are the main protagonists, but they still managed to do it in a way where there's a lot going on, but it all works for the story. But dude, I just love these movies so much, and I really hope Beyond the Spider-Verse is good. Is just as good. It doesn't have to be. If it's at least close to being good as the first two, I'll be happy. I just want a satisfying conclusion. That's all I want. So please, just give us a solid conclusion. I'll probably make a video about how I feel Beyond Spider-Verse will go out. But you guys see what I'm talking about? Almost every Spider-Man suffers the same problem with the trilogy problem. They get to the third movie and then all of a sudden there's too much. Then it fails. And like, okay, now we're getting Spider-Man 4. But Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse just has to be great. But yeah. But anyways, that was just my rant on how I feel rant about how Spider-Man's being has basically gone through a cursed canon event. So what's your guys' opinion? Do you think Beyond the Spider-Verse will be just as great? And what are your guys' theories on Beyond the Spider-Verse? Let me know down. Let me know. Make sure to follow, like, comment, and subscribe. And as usual, have a good day. Take care and peace.